When people discuss the New Orleans Saints quarterback history, you think of Drew Brees, Archie Manning, or Bobby Herbert as being the main star quarterbacks of this franchise. But overall, there is still one quarterback who is largely forgotten. The quarterback in this case who is largely forgotten by most of the NFL is quarterback Aaron Brooks, a quarterback who was the Saints franchise starter for multiple years during the early 2000s, and who was also the first quarterback to win a playoff game. And today we're going to talk about his career and what happened to him after winning his first playoff game. Before Brooks' time with the Saints, in which he was the team's franchise quarterback, we have to start out in the year 1997. During that year, Brooks would take over for the Virginia football franchise and would lead the team to a 7-5 record, though they would not make a bowl game. In 1998, however, the team would go 9-3, with Brooks leading up to multiple great wins throughout the year, including a comeback win over the rival Virginia Tech. Brooks and Virginia would find themselves matched up in the Peach Bowl against the University of Georgia and quarterback Quincy Carter. The game for Virginia ended badly as they blew a massive lead to Georgia in the Peach Bowl and would lose. Brooks, however, would declare for the NFL draft and would be drafted in the 4th round by the Green Bay Packers. In Green Bay, Brooks was never really going to get much of a chance to show his NFL talent, as he was behind two other quarterbacks who were Pro Bowlers, Pro Bowler Matt Hasselbeck for the Seattle Seahawks and future Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers. During the 2000 offseason, the Green Bay Packers traded Aaron Brooks to the New Orleans Saints in exchange for a 3rd-round pick and another random player. The reason that Brooks was traded to the Saints was because the Saints were looking to overhaul a quarterback position which had been rough for their organization for over 30 years. The Saints, since their foundation in the 70s, had yet to find a single playoff win and hadn't even been to the playoffs since the early 90s. Going into the 2000 season, quarterback Jeff Blake, a former Pro Bowl quarterback with the Cincinnati Bengals, was actually named the Saints starting quarterback. And at first, the team started off well. The team would start off 7-4 with Aaron Brooks barely getting into games behind Blake.
In motion to try to free him up as Blake can't get rid of it, or does he? And he's hurt on the play as Lance Johnstone made the tackle, riding him down from behind.
In the blink of an eye, this changed the Saints organization forever. This one play altered Blake's career, along with allowing Aaron Brooks to make his NFL debut behind center. Brooks' first official NFL action under center didn't go that bad for him either. He would throw for over 160 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, though an interception during the loss to Oakland, but despite that, he would also complete over 60% of his passes, and he was also given the starting job for the rest of the season. The rest of the Saints season with Aaron Brooks under center, he was pretty good for them. He threw 9 touchdowns, along with leading the team to a 3-2 record, and they even qualified for the NFL playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. Going into the 2000 playoffs, this was the most success Saints fans had seen in over a decade, and despite that, fans were not expecting them to do much in the playoffs as they were matched up against the defending Super Bowl champions in the St. Louis Rams and future Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. Despite being massive underdogs to the greatest show on turf, Aaron Brooks would make sure the Saints were going to win this game, and as a result, he would put on the game of his life.
Brooks to the end zone, caught! Brooks, and it is caught! It is caught by Willie Jackson, and he's going to dance his way taunting into the end zone. Good. Sit on what lead? To the end zone, touchdown, Willie Jackson! So the Ram comeback comes up short.
To put it simply, this was the best playoff performance by a quarterback in Saints history up to this point. Despite losing the next round of the playoffs to the Minnesota Vikings, the team's future looked pretty good under Brooks. Brooks, who had his best playoff performance, looked pretty good and looked like a franchise quarterback the Saints had been lacking for years. But despite that, they would never reach these heights under Brooks again. Now the question becomes, why did they never make the playoffs again under Aaron Brooks, and what happened to him after his first and only playoff win of his NFL career? After the 2000 season ended, the Saints would decide to start Aaron Brooks under center for the bulk of the 2000s, and during that time, the team was competitive. They would go 7-9 in 2001, 8-8 in 2002, 9-7 in 2003, and 8-8 in 2004. In 2005, Brooks' NFL career with the Saints would fall apart as the team would go 3-13 in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina hitting the city. Though despite the aftermath, in his first game back after Hurricane Katrina, Brooks would lead the Saints to a victory over the Carolina Panthers 21-20. Brooks' victory in Week 1 over the Carolina Panthers in the 2005 season was one of the last great moments he had with the Saints organization. After the 2005 season, in which they would sign Drew Brees in the 2006 offseason, he would be released from the team. In 2006, he would sign with the Raiders before retiring after an awful stint. In my honest opinion, I feel like a big reason as to why Aaron Brooks has been largely forgotten by most of the NFL fanbase is due to the fact that Drew Brees has been on the Saints for nearly a decade and a half. Almost as soon as Brees took over, everything went well for the Saints. In 2009, they would win a Super Bowl, and after that, they would become regular playoff contenders, and Brees is currently number 1 in passing yards and passing touchdowns in their franchise's history. Another thing that didn't really help matters for Brooks was due to the fact that after the 2005 season, which was his final year with the Saints, he would only spend one more year in the NFL before his 2007 retirement. As of making this video, Aaron Brooks is currently a real estate agent, and in 2014, the Saints inducted him into the team's Hall of Fame. As this video ends, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support I've been getting on the recent videos. All the nice comments I've been seeing from people have made me so happy, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for making my day. One last thing I have to say is I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you all stay cool.